viability in life, it's like, who's to say that so-and-so should make $400 million a year? Even though they're in charge of this, that, and the other. Why can't you, I'm not saying you should make $400,000 a year. I'm not saying I should make $400,000 a year. But how is there such a disparity in what your worth is? When I worked at Home Depot, the owner came in one time because we did so well for that quarter. We did so well for those 2 quarters or whatever. It was $57 million a year store. Now it's about 55 again. And that's only one store in St. Louis. And this guy he quit the company and got $360 million to quit his job. How is his validity more important than the guy who's been working there for 30 years, or the person who shows up every day? And how the fuck can you pay somebody $12 an hour, or $10 an hour, or $8 an hour, or even $15 an hour and feel okay about your lot in life? When the store's making $250,000 a day, and the slow day, it might be $135,000. And you only ran with this many employees, so if you do the labor and then you do the cost, it's like, this makes zero sense. The shareholders are making all the money and they don't even show up. Right, we're feeding people that don't even show up. You know, here Rob, here's your money, and then this other guy gets a room full of $100 bills because you did a good job. What the hell? I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying we should all make the same amount of money. But after all, it's almost like you'd be remiss to actually show up to that job because it's like, you're making fun of me. I tell people, bottled water, we live in St. Louis. If I bought bottled water, I wouldn't buy bottled water. But if I drink it, I feel like I'm being fooled. I feel like I'm being fooled because we have good drinkable water. And at some point in time, someone will be like, you guys are paying for water in the future? But somebody corrupted the other waters to the point where all of a sudden now you got to buy it. Somebody's going to corrupt the air, and one day you got to buy it. Capitalism is great to a point, but we don't take care of each other. Would you agree or not agree?
Man, I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. You settle on what you're going to make, and, you take the job, you take the job.
Well, I'm all about that, but then at some point in time, I was watching the documentary we talked about, I'm Not Your Negro, and he said this. People are cool with stuff until it affects their security, it affects their lifestyle. And they're not. It's like, ooh, my kids can't go to that private school. Ooh, I can't live in that house. That ideal that I was all like, emphatic about, and look, no longer am about that. Because my whole lifestyle's in jeopardy. And everybody becomes a house, you know what? Because you know what? I'm getting a little something, and so I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to rock the boat. It's uncomfortable. We might lose out. Others might. It's like sometimes it's got to be like, here's a reckless abandon. I don't give a F. If you care and you love and you believe in God, you have to believe God. Who's in charge? We live in a godless world now, Rob. We live in a godless world. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's a victim. Everybody wants to complain about stuff. Life's unfair. Long ago, life was just unfair, and that's just what it was. And you can still make things happen, but you have to have that thing where you want to go on, you want to work harder, and you want to create other people around you and help them be bigger. And now it's just like, well, I got what I was getting, fuck you. And that's what people do. I moved to a private community. We got a gate out there. Your ass can't afford to live where I live. I know your kids are struggling too bad. I'm not giving you $1,000 just to pat you on the head like a goddamn pet. You should be able to do better. But you understand, after all, it's a club of people that have and people that don't. It's disgusting, but it's true. And sometimes you got to look at life as it is instead of being like, my biggest thing is like, I can be right there. But you know what? How can I have and live in good conscience? My brother, my sister, my mother, anybody else is suffering that way. My belly's fat, my kids' bellies are fat, we got everything. I gave out what my accountant said we should give out. But, you know, most people don't care. They're like, well, fuck them. And you know when you're blessed. And I feel like we've gotten to this point in our lives, in our society, where we don't know when we're blessed and we don't care. Pay attention. Rob, you stuck. You good?
Yeah.
Now, you gotta help me out, Rob, because I can't let this food cook forever.
Oh, shit.